Have you ever wondered what's going on with this weird bondage demon? Or this Kakashi cosplay angel? Or this Shutter Island escapee? Or how about... oh, what even is that? Well, it turns out they're actually based on Final Fantasy III. Check this out. The original Japanese name for the Sky Scourge is Tenmashin. Ten meaning heaven or sky, and Mashin being a distorted spelling of Majin, meaning demon, devil, or some evil entity. This spelling is interesting because it forces the reader to pronounce Mashin sounding like machine in English rather than Majin, the master of the chocolate beam, meaning this could be read as Sky Machine, which is actually a reference to the airships in Final Fantasy III. Seems far-fetched, right? But their names are also distorted versions of the names of the airships. Sky Scourge Enrise is named for the Enterprise, a ship awarded to the player after assisting the Vikings in appeasing the sea serpent Nepto. It is later modified by Sid Hayes, and keep that name in mind for later, by using the Wheel of Time to transform it into an airship. The effects of each of the original 3 Sky Scourge monsters are also just copies of other powerful cards in the game. In the instance of Enrise, it has the same banish effect and battle restriction of Chaos Sorcerer. The level 8 monsters also have a similar summoning condition to the Chaos monsters, each with their own unique twist on the banish mechanic. Enrise requires 3 light fairies and 1 dark fiend to be banished in order to summon it. This parallels the restrictions placed on each of the airships in the game. For example, the Enterprise can only land in water. Sky Scourge Nautilus represents the Nautilus, a ship gifted to the player after ending Saronia's civil war. The engineers will alert the player to their discovery of the ancient airship and will restore it for use. Nautilus' effect is a copy of Chaos Emperor Dragon, Envoy of the End, and requires 1 light fairy and 3 dark fiends, an inversion of Enrise. This also seems indicative of the 2 level 8 monsters being representatives of the heavens and the underworld. The Nautilus' limitation also mirrors this dichotomy in that it can only land on the ground. Sky Scourge Invisil is the first of 2 level 6 monsters, and gets its name from the Invincible, the final airship acquired in the game. It can only be obtained after awakening the sorceress Une, who then tells of its location buried within the ancient ruins near the kingdom of Saronia. The summoning condition for the level 6 monsters is much looser, only needing a tribute available on the board. However, they only gain one of their 2 effects if that tribute is a light fairy or a dark fiend. In the case of Invisil, it either copies Jinzo's ability to shut down traps if a dark fiend is offered, or Spellcanceller's ability to negate spells if a light fairy is tributed. As with the remaining airships, the Invincible is limited in that it can't land at all, and it is only disembarked by use of a ladder. Finally, we have Sky Scourge Sid Hells, released a full 14 years after the original trio. Sid Hells is both representative of the remaining airship in Final Fantasy III, as well as the owner of that vessel, Sid Hayes. Sid is an inventor from Kazus, and grants the team permission to use his airship to assist them on their journey. Similar to Invisil, Sid Hells only requires 1 tribute, and its effect is decided by what that monster may be. Unlike Invisil, and the other 2 Sky Demons for that matter, its effect is not a direct rip from another card in the game. With the tribute of a light fairy, it gains the effect of adding a light fairy or dark fiend from deck to hand. At the cost of a dark fiend, it will instead send that same monster to the graveyard. Sid Hell's role of setting up your hand or graveyard is an allusion to Sid Hayes being the engineer responsible for the repair and modification of the team's airship in the game. A fitting attribute after having waited so long for some new support. Now, if history truly does repeat itself, we can expect our next addition to this archetype to arrive in 2035. Only 11 more years to go, I guess. Thank you for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe to see more archetype analyses like this in the future. Have a good one. Goodbye.